Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, like, subscribe, and all the other stuff in between. Today I have a question for you guys that want legitimate feedback, and it's regarding the NFA and SBRs, and not like F the NFA or like, just abolish with. I think we should, but it's more about, do you SBR multiple lowers or not? So this is the most recent upper that I can reconfigure. It's not a new upper. I just added the URGI Mark 16 handguard and converted it more or less because it was a agency trade-in from Clyde Armory with a Daniel Defense barrel and a Colt upper and bolt carrier group. They had two different options. I went over this in another video, but basically I had 329 in the upper but hated it due to the certain configuration, so I wanted to change it up to something more usable and lightweight, and this is what I did. So I went to SBR another lower. And the PWA Commando lower, the first one I ever SBR'd, is basically my host as I'm trying out an upper to see how much I'm going to like it and if I'm going to keep it or just part it out. So this is currently on my PWA Commando SBR'd lower. I am going to change out the grip while I go to test and run this. I've got the basic Magpul stock on it. And I think the Magpul stocks get a lot of hate because they've been around for so long, but in reality, the Magpul gear is very usable. So that's just an opinion, but you'll see several rifles that I have that are using Magpul furniture because it's usable and it works. So also my Voltaire of the old Tor, whatever it is, VLTOR, however you pronounce the name brand, someone really needs to tell me. That's primarily the stocks that I prefer. I like the SOT mod, the BCM system well enough, I guess, but really the old school VLTOR I like the best. Anyway, that's not the point. Do you have one or two SBR lowers and then just have random uppers? And I see pictures like on Reddit and on Instagram where someone has like one lower and then they have 4, 5, 6 different upper receivers to go with that SBR lower. And the reason I ask again is I have this weird, like, it's not OCD, I don't think. I'm a clinician, maybe I can't self-diagnose, but I feel like every upper has to have its own dedicated lower. And I was recataloging some of my collection, going through things, and I was like, you know what? I can't use, I'm not going to use half of these guns. I didn't get into ARs until COVID. So I've always had my carry handle guns. They've stayed in the collection, my old school Colts, and I had like one M4. And moving into COVID, ARs like were cheaper than dirt, and everything else was like, my AKs and the other things, my FALs that I typically would reconfigure and buy parts for and components and build on became overly expensive, and people were price gouging. Like Zenico stuff became banned, and there was all kinds of these other things like linear compensators that became illegal and were banned and then came back on the market. So I just got tired of paying the prices, and I was like, I'm going to train with a different platform that doesn't have a carry handle on it. And that's where me getting into SBRing ARs came into it. And originally, even with my first SBR here, the Commando in 2021, I had the lower for a long time, but I had a Colt Commando 11.5 inch A1 style upper on it. And I have a crap load of fun with that upper. So this is my host lower. I use it for just about every new upper receiver group that's under 16 inches. But I just wanted to know your all's opinion. What do you do? Like, do you guys actually SBR everything for a particular upper? And my thought behind that is like my 10-inch Bushmaster. I love that gun. It's an A2 carbine. It has a lot of history behind it. Really cool configuration. But I have a different buffer spring and weight in that than what I would have with an 11.5 or even a 14.5. Or even my 10.3, my Mark 18 Mod 0, I have a heavier weight buffer in that than what I would even use on the 11.5. And someone would ask why, and that has to do with like the barrel length and dwell time and all that crap, as I understand it. But really, it has to do with the recoil impulse and getting the gun to cycle reliably. I don't think I would need like an H3 buffer system in an 11.5 inch barrel. Maybe I'm wrong. I probably am wrong. Someone will tell me that. Because again, outside of 16 inch and 14.5 inch AR, 727 style, and then M16A1s, I didn't mess with ARs up until recently. So, well, 5 years, 6 years going on. But still, I think that's fairly new considering that my previous 20 years of experience with firearms was really in AKs and then various pistols and com block stuff. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what your feedback and honest opinion is on it, or if I'm just being stupid by wanting to SBR different lowers. I think it's a waste of money, but I still do it because NFA's ATF sucks. Anyway, thank you for watching. And again, I really do appreciate the feedback. Awkward outro.